It really, really deepens every aspect about my spiritual relationship to God and to other people.
Welcoming prayer just seemed to make sense because Thomas Keating said, what do you do with all the things that come up when you're doing after you've done centering prayer?
It's a mystery how it works, but I know it does work.
The welcoming prayer is for our day-to-day living. When we get angry, when we get frustrated, and those afflictive emotions come up, sometimes despair, anxiety, whatever it is, this is the perfect opportunity to use the welcoming prayer so we can consent again to God's presence and action within.
So what's the practice? 3 simple movements. Movement 1 is that we feel and sink into whatever I'm experiencing in my body in this moment. That's it. It can be excitement in your chest. It can be tightness in your neck. Whatever you're experiencing, I cannot let go of something I'm not willing to pick up. 2, once I've picked you up, I welcome you. Welcome is so much easier and more opening to the unconscious than words even like let go, surrender, because we generally have a resistance to some of them. Most of us love being welcomed, and welcome is like our sacred word. We're going to interiorly affirm that we are consenting to what we are experiencing in this moment in our body as our way to consent to the divine indwelling. It's not bringing God in from the outside in. God's already there. I let go of my desire for security, affection, control, and embrace this moment as it is. That's where the radical trust is, embracing the moment as it is. It's not just accepting, it's actually welcoming. With radical, invincible trust that you are here, God, somewhere.
It's not really something I do, the letting go, so much as something I receive and experience in my body. It may be almost a physical downshift into a deeper consent.
This is consent on the go. We're consenting to God's presence and action within us, and it's about these really difficult emotions that we hold because they are wounds, things that are scary and overwhelming. But what you are doing is you are saying, feel, sink into where that is, and you're welcome. I don't want to be alone in this, God. You're welcome. You welcome the feeling. Then you let go. Notice it's still there, but you hold it more lightly. That's the let go. And then you embrace, knowing you are not alone. God is there with you.
Consenting to God's presence and action within that matrix frees me to embrace the moment as it is, to embrace this present moment, and to embrace life.
The welcoming prayer has been described as a prayer of unity. In order to find that unity, we have to find a balance and harmony between our thoughts, emotions, and actions. And in order to do that, we have to nurture that body, mind, spirit connection. And practicing the prayer, sinking in, welcoming, and letting go is all about being at that place of unity and oneness.
The welcoming prayer has been an important part of my 12-step program, especially with step 6 and 7. Step 7 says that we humbly ask God to remove our shortcomings. A lot of my shortcomings have to do with my emotional reaction to things. So the welcoming prayer allows me to come into my body where the disturbance is taking place and be able to accept and embrace it just as it is, instead of running from it or even worse, reacting to it when I'm angry.
With the welcoming prayer, I'm letting go of my unconscious desires and demands of the false self that get in the way of God's love. So the prayer helps me act out of my true self. It's as if I have $1 worth of energy to spend in the moment. And I can either give it to my false self or my true self.
What came over me was, a real tension throughout my body. And I remembered, fortunately, at that moment about the welcoming prayer, and the feeling was just so salient for me. And so I was able to jump to that second movement of welcoming this sensation in my body. I just said to myself, I let go of my desire for her approval. And that third movement of the welcoming prayer allowed me to not be so concerned about myself. And I realized that I did want to give my wife more time, and I felt really good about how I responded to that situation in a loving way rather than a defensive way.
Consent on the Go, it has really changed my life. I feel like God is in those moments when I can slow down. I'm not just charging through my life. I'm not the bull in the china shop anymore.
I said the words welcome. I can't say that I felt like welcoming it, but I had a sense that the pain was not controlling me so much. And I also, more importantly, felt that Jesus was with me. It actually transformed 5 or 6 days of suffering into a unique and powerful spiritual experience.
So I had anger about the request because I thought, well, that doesn't feel comfortable to me when you've been saying no to me, but I'm a mom, so I said yes. Did the welcoming prayer, and that anger, of course, I just went with it instead of trying to step it back down. It's always about letting go of our need for affection. And by the time they showed up a few days later, all it felt like when they showed up was love and a warmth and a welcome.
No matter how screwed up of a situation that can happen to us, if we be open to God and we open and walk with God through this, welcome Him into the situation, it can take the most screwed up situation and use it to the good and bring healing. When we do that, that's when the graces of God become apparent in our lives. I have had a rich life. It's been full of tragedy and it's been full of joy. And the welcoming prayer has allowed me to not get hung up in my need for security, affection, and control, and instead open to and embrace life as it is.